Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back. It's me, Ed Carbajal. You can follow me on Twitter at Carbazel. I'm the mixed martial arts analyst for page2sports.com, and this is the Carbazel MMA podcast. I'm recording on Sunday night, the night after UFC 192. Daniel Cormier had just successfully defended his light heavyweight title against Alexander Gustafsson. He won a decision. I saw it in a bar with my brother. Actually, Chris was with me. Chris Rios, that was on the last episode of this podcast. He and I were actually getting together. We've been talking through email, and we got together for drinks. Just to I'm gonna have him back because you guys apparently really liked that episode. So I gave him a bunch of articles to read that I've written about the MMA ban in the state of New York, and he's not a big fan of the sport, but having him as an outsider looking in with the level of expertise he has with numbers and things like that, he obviously has a lot to say, and when you get to hear somebody that knows a little more than the average fight fan give their take on, like he did with the Reebok thing, and so we'll have him look at the mixed martial arts ban in New York. He's also a big fan of sports, New York sports, because he's originally from there. So and then he lives in Jersey now near me. But that's another story. So I'm working on getting him back here. I'm sorry I don't have a guest today, but I'm working on him coming back, and a couple of my coworkers from Page 2 Sports doing some stuff in the future. So that'll be up soon. Just a recap of everything that's happened since I've been away. 2 weeks since that last episode. Lots of stuff has gone down. We had Bellator Dynamite, UFC Japan, World Series of Fighting, with Chael Sonnen doing the commentary for the first time there. It's just a lot has happened. The Nick Diaz, he had the NSAC go berserk on him and try to punish him or punish him really harshly for something they couldn't even really prove that he was over the limits on, because they do set limits apparently now for what he popped for, which is marijuana. So anyway, that's been in the news. I'm sure you read enough about that. At the Bellator Dynamite event, Fedor Emelianenko said he was coming back. We knew he had already said he was coming back, but we didn't know when and where. Now we know where. He's back with Sakaki Bara, former Pride president, fighting in Japan. His first fight's going to be New Year's Eve, so it's going to be very Pride-like, it looks like, and it's going to be in partnership with Spike TV. So he didn't sign with Bellator like a lot of people thought he was doing, as much as he just signed back with Sakaki Bara and wherever they're going to be having their event. So it's going to be some type of the way he did with Strikeforce and stuff when he fought Brett Rogers and when they brought him back. So that's going to be his return fight. I don't know if he's I don't know how many fights. There's a rumor about the Sakaki Bara promotion being called Samurai FC, but that hasn't been confirmed, at least not to my knowledge at the time I'm recording this. But it is Sunday night, so we got a whole new week to look forward to. And but anyway, let's recap. So the Dynamite event was very Pride themed. They had the old announcer, what's her name, Len Hart, I think that's her name. Anyway, she came back and introduced all the fighters. They had a very theatrical introduction with all the fighters lined up just the way they did in Pride. Matchup of the night. The tournament was really great. Phil Davis blew through his opponents, and he's got the next shot at the light heavyweight champ Liam McGeary, who also fought at the event, defended his title, his light heavyweight title at Dynamite against Tito Ortiz. Tito Ortiz is doing well, I thought. I mean, he took him down. He was able to land a couple of shots to the face, but needless to say, wasn't enough, and Liam McGeary pulled off, for the second time that I've seen him do anyway, that inverted triangle from the bottom. He's really, that guy's really deadly deadly. I'm watching Elysium, so somebody got killed there. Jodie Foster just got stabbed in the neck in Elysium, so deadly popped out of my mouth. But nobody's killing each other in MMA. Come on. Then the sport would be banned everywhere. But anyway, she just got stabbed in the neck. But Liam McGeary, he's pulled off that inverted triangle twice. That's the second time I've seen it, and it looks really tight. And Ortiz had no choice but to tap. So now they're going to have him early 2016 fighting Phil Davis, since he won the tournament that night. Phil Davis, he submitted Emmanuel Newton with a really tight Kimura, and then he was supposed to fight King Mo, who got through his fight, but apparently he sustained a rib injury, so they had to replace him with one of the other fighters from the prelims before the broadcast card, and Phil Davis knocked him out. So he fought twice in one night, finished both guys in the first round. They gave him a title, like just the way Pride used to give a title belt for people that won their tournament. And now it's Phil Davis versus Liam McGeary, probably the beginning of 2016 sometime. And I'm really looking forward to it. I like the event. It didn't have as many views as they had hoped. 800 million, I believe, was the final number, which is, 800,000. So they were looking to get millions, but I guess that didn't happen. Although I did read that the gate did well, like attendance, the arena was sold out. All the tickets were sold, so the gate did really well. So I guess it's not a complete loss for them. The Glory Kickboxing that was on the same event was really exciting. My girlfriend watched it with me. She's somebody that doesn't really watch Glory Kickboxing, but she found the matches to be exciting. She thinks the refs stop the fights too much. I think it depends on the ref. And speaking of refs, the other event that happened while I had been away was the UFC Fight Night in Japan with Josh Barnett and Roy Nelson. And the whole reason I'm mentioning refs connecting to that event is because I thought that the referees, the reason that event was so good was because none of the referees let fighters do any kind of stalling. I don't know if that was a rule left over because of where they were at. They were in the Saitama Super Arena where a lot of Pride events took place. And the refs called for action a lot if they were laying on each other or stayed too long in the clinch or what have you. If the fight went to the ground and it was just a lot of small elbow strikes and no one was going anywhere, the refs didn't wait very long to have them stand back up to their feet and start fighting again, which I really liked. I think that's something more referees should start doing here in the States. Even the casual fan, the casual fans do get annoyed when they see they don't understand the intricacies of the ground game. But even still, I mean, sometimes it can get frustrating for the hardcore fan, any fight fan, if they're laying on the ground for too long and nothing's going on. So maybe that'll cross over here. They all did an awesome job. The referees, the fights were great. There was a lot of finishes. Ultimate Fighter Japan finalists fought for their contract. Ishihara and Hirota, they fought each other to a draw, which was when it happened, a lot of people were kind of like, uh-oh, so who gets the contract? And they did a good job of letting people at home know right away that they both got a contract, because the fight was that good. It was hard it really was hard to call. They were back and forth. I mean, I enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to seeing either of those guys fight again. And then Josh Barnett and Roy Nelson, their fight, it went all 5 rounds, but I've never seen Josh Barnett look so good standing on his feet. I mean, he was the hand fighting he did against the cage with Roy Nelson. He did a good job avoiding that overhand right. Roy Nelson definitely threw it. He took him down early in the early rounds, but I guess, I mean, as tough as he is, and he's tough as hell, he took a lot of elbows and hard punches from Barnett, but he never got finished. He was very fatigued when it was over. But even Barnett said when they announced that he won, he said he just said he didn't do good enough. So he was happy that he won, but disappointed with his performance. He shouldn't have been, because I thought they both fought so great. What was cool about it is when he won is he called Roy Nelson over and just kind of, said, let's both take this together. Just bask in the glow of this great fight. And it really was, and that was really good sportsmanship of him. Josh Barnett's a big favorite in Japan. So I wasn't surprised that he was so well received by the crowd. I mean, if you saw him in Pride or any of his pro wrestling shows, you would know that Japan loves just them some Josh Barnett. The other fight on that card that a lot of people were talking about, and what's actually, I'm glad I waited a little to record this, because there's Uriah Hall. A lot of news for Uriah Hall. He had that awesome win. He did that video game-esque spinning back kick on Gegard Mousasi, finished him quickly in the second round. But in the first round, when it looked like he was doing bad, I mean, he said he had some new stuff to show, and he looked good off his back. I mean, he did a couple of submission attempts that forced Mousasi to really defend over rather than go the other way. Because a lot of people didn't. It seemed like, well, me anyway, I couldn't pick who was going to win, but I knew someone was going to finish someone. And that's exactly what happened, because it wasn't going to go the distance. And Uriah Hall, what did he say he did? He paid attention to the way Mousasi changed levels before he would shoot in to take him down. So in the second round, when he saw him change levels, he jumped into one of those spinning back kicks. Not even a clip. It was a direct shot to Gegard's face, and as he reeled back, Uriah Hall moved in for the kill, and he still tried to shoot in, and he topped it off with a knee. So he kind of like shot in right on the knee, fell against the cage, and then Uriah Hall finished him off with strikes. It was really awesome, and right off of that win, it was a week after. Because Michael Bisping was supposed to fight, I forget what event that's coming up soon, but now Uriah Hall is replacing him as Michael Bisping getting elbow surgery. He just announced it on this past Wednesday's UFC Tonight, which was October 1st. He's replacing Michael Bisping against, I forgot who he's fighting. Anyway, so Uriah Hall is definitely on his way up, and we're going to see him a lot. Hopefully, I mean, he should still be fresh and healed up by the time he steps in. I mean, they wouldn't let him step in if he wasn't cleared otherwise. But yeah, UFC Fight Night, that was a really good event for free TV. It was, I want to say, in my opinion, I can't hear crowds and stuff when I go watch the pay-per-views in these bars that I go to. But from what I saw last night with UFC 192 versus the UFC Fight Night in Japan, I thought that the Fox Sports 1 broadcast of the UFC Japan was way better than what I watched at the bar with Chris and my brother and my girlfriend, because it just looked like there's more finishes. Nothing really went to decision, and I mean, from what I'm reading after the fact, it looks like people are bothered by what happened in UFC 192. So, I don't know. I mean, was the decision controversial for the main event between Gustafsson and Cormier? I can't say that I think so. I watched it. I paid attention. I can't hear commentary. I can't hear what other people are saying. Can't hear the crowds. It's so loud in these places. But what I saw was I saw Cormier press